Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for a very exciting training with Ron Story. I met Ron here, golly, about a year and a half ago now. We've collaborated on a number of ventures, and for those of you that came to the speaker boot camp, you'll remember he was there as one of my guest speakers. But what we're going to be doing tonight is the speaker flywheel, which is something he created. How many of you are ready to get on more stages and particularly more podcasts? Okay, let me ask it a different way. How many of you are, come on, guys, you guys are all speakers. So, Ron, even though he can't really hear you, he's going to be watching you. So, you give him the energy. So, I'm not going to talk a lot, which is unique, as you guys know. And Ron,
Mm.
I'm just going to throw it on over to you.
All right, guys, good to see you all. As Gary mentioned, I'm Ron Story. What I want to talk about today is what I think is probably the biggest opportunity over the next 3 to 5 years with all of the AI things that are coming into play. Um, you know, Usually whenever I do these presentations, Bonnie will tell you my daughter will come in or my son will come in, and AI can't do that. So AI can't replace the human factor of us being people and being able to tell stories about what's happening with our families or what we did for the holidays, because they would lose our trust if they start saying, well, my kid did this. We're like, which one, your iPhone or your iPad? Because if you're AI, you're not a real person, right? So what I want to talk about today is how do you basically productize yourself and make it where you can out just basically win against anybody that is trying to use the AI personality or thinks that AI is going to win the battle at the end of the day. But in reality, you are the best funnel you'll ever have. You're the best salesperson you'll ever have for your products and services. So, this presentation today will be more Bible study than preaching. I don't do a lot of preaching. It won't be a sermon, so it'll be interacting. You all will be able to ask questions, raise your hands, interact with me. I'm pretty easy going with these things, but I'm very confident because of our results. So let's get into it. Any questions before we get started? Feel free to, if I call on you, don't feel bad. You can always say no, but I have a habit of calling on people and asking them to chip in so that I don't feel like I'm in this island by myself, right? So I'm going to share my screen and then we'll get into it, right? So, as a lot of you guys know, I live in Colombia. I live in Pablo Escobar's Colombia. We saw the political things that happened right next door. I watched that live on Instagram. My friends, and I have 9 employees in Venezuela, they were live on Instagram when that happened. And I watched those bombs go off, and it was not on Fox News or CNN. Nobody knew about it. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, holy smokes, right? So I live right next door to Venezuela, close to Pablo Escobar's house. If you've ever seen um, Narcos, you probably have seen this in the intro. I've actually been to that house. It's a huge place. But I'm here with my family. I'm not doing any of those types of deals. But I do have a deal for you guys. And that deal is really simple. If you give me a review at the end of this conversation, I will easily give you a gift that's worth $349. Some of you all have already received this, but I'm going to give it to everyone else who doesn't have it. Basically, all I'm asking is if you take out your camera or if you look in the chat, I'll put a link in the chat that takes you to something that looks like this. And basically, what this is going to do is at the end of the conversation today, I want you to give me a star rating. If I teach you one thing, give me a 3 stars. If I teach you 2 things, give me 4 stars. And if I teach you 3 things, feel free to give me 5 stars because I think anytime you can walk away after 30 minutes with 3 things that you can implement right off the bat, that's a pretty good conversation. So, any questions before I get started? Usually there's questions about Medellin and no, I don't sell drugs. No, I've never sold drugs. I'm here because it's a lot cheaper than living in St. Louis. All right. I've been here for 9 years, a long time. 2014 is when I first landed. So let's get into it. So, the goal of this presentation today is in the title. I want you guys to stop speaking for free in 2026. And what you should learn today is how booking one podcast a week, one speaking gig a month, and learning to write and get paid to write for 2 publications can change your entire business. It can grow any business. It can help you get paid more as a speaker, but you can't do it by waiting to be discovered. Is that fair? So here's what you're going to learn. Here's a quick, fast summary for those who have to leave early. Here's what you're going to learn today. If you're roughly under $10,000 from speaking and you're tired of doing free or $250 speaking gigs, this is the presentation you want to see. I'll show you how to implement our 112 system, which is one podcast, one association, and two articles. So you can implement that this year without any hesitation. You'll see the exact engine that our clients like Bonnie have used to participate in booking over 7,000 meetings this year. Well, last year, because we're a week into 2026, but in 2025, they booked over 7,000 meetings with event planners that have been documented on our site, right? And I'll show you exactly how it works. At the end, if it makes sense, I'll give you access to the engine and we'll make the price as low as $140. So you already know what the pitch is. You don't have to worry about if I'm going to pitch you something at the end. I am. And it's going to be 140 bucks, okay? Right? I'm not going to make any income promises. And because we know all of your results depends on your topic and the effort that you put in. So since we're adults, we're going to let you determine how much you're going to make from what I teach you today. So again, who's this for? Any of you guys feeling invisible or noisy out in the marketplace? You like feeling invisible in this? Everybody's an expert and coach nowadays, right? So it's kind of noisy. Well, that's what we're going to talk about. If you feel like that, if you are tired of waiting on invites to speak, I know a lot of speakers wait for someone to pick them. Or if you're tired of going to speak but not really learning how to make money, I'm going to show you how you can do this in less than 3 hours a week if you just stick to what we teach. Now, we tell people 3 hours a week and they do it in 9. And I'm like, well, what did you do? Because that's not, we don't have a nine-hour instruction manual. It's 3 hours, right? So I already walked through this. So let's go to this. Let me ask you this question. If I can show you that this year, consistently booking one gig, one podcast a week, one small group, and learning to write articles for Forbes, Fast Company, Business Insider, if I can show you how to do that with a simple flywheel, it will make sense at the end for you to grab what we're talking about to implement this. So we surveyed over 2,800. This is one part of it, but in this one, it was 2,797 speakers, and we found that 62% made less than $10,000 this year. I know on Instagram they make a lot more, but in reality they don't. Okay, outside of the metaverse, speakers don't make that much, or the current ones haven't learned how to make that much, right? 56% got paid less than 250 bucks. 53% didn't even do 5 gigs last year, and 1/3 of them don't have anything to sell after they give their talk. That is a problem to me, right? Why? Because I think that your messages are worth more than 250 bucks. I think that you should be getting, there's enough people out there where even at 250 bucks, you should be able to make more than $10,000 a year. So you should be speaking more than 5 times. And then you should always have something to sell. So Scott, I'm going to ask you a question. What's your topic, Scott? What business are you in? Scott Miller.
Yep, here I am. I'm a web designer in short, so that answer your question. So yeah.
No, it's perfectly fine, right? So web designer, right? Which is great. Let me ask you this. If you get on stage and you teach someone how to better design their website, right? You do a 40-minute speech. Is it appropriate that they go and let April build it for them?
No, I mean, I'd rather have them have me do it, of course.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So that's what most speakers do. They go up and they get the crowd all excited, and then they don't have a training program. They don't have a consulting program. They don't have the follow-up thing to implement where the real money's made. So they say, well, I spoke for free, but they didn't pay me. Well, wait a minute. You don't know how to get paid. It's not that they wouldn't pay. You didn't know how to get customers from the audience. Does that make sense? You didn't know how to capture the lead so that they could pay you. Like Chris. Chris had a great call to action and when I was in Denver, he had all of his things. He was using Talkadot. He was capturing his leads. He was getting his reviews. He understood that there was a step after his speech. Right? So I don't know who that was, but they just said something. All right. So basically, here's what we're trying to look at. Imagine if I ran McDonald's. Let's say, Andrew, what business are you in?
I'm a chef.
What is it? Barbershop?
No, I'm a chef.
Oh, chef. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. All
McDonald's.
right.
Look at that
There you
luck,
go.
right? Let's say you opened up a restaurant. Could you expect to be packed every week if you didn't have a marketing budget?
Oh no.
Why not?
I can make the greatest of whatever, but if nobody knows, nobody comes.
There it is.
Word of mouth is a terrible plan.
100%. And that's the issue. Most speakers, because they're great speakers, they rely on their word of mouth. They're the best kept secrets in America. Nobody knows that they do the thing that they do. So they're stuck waiting on referrals because 55% invested zero in the getting speaking gigs last year. Only 20% were investing in anything into getting more speaking gigs. So that was a big issue. We were like, well, what is this? What is it that they really want? Well, they want to be found, they want to know who to talk to, and they want to have someone that can help them to do it consistently, right? At the end of the conversation today, I'm going to help you to get a page where you can be known, right? We have 10,000 event planners in our database that are looking for speakers. I'm going to show you how to reach out to those who may not know you exist. They don't know to look for Andrew the chef. And then I'm going to give you access to our group that Bonnie's a part of, where we just talk and coach you up on getting more gigs, right? So is that a fair deal if you walk away with that today? Cool. Let me ask you a question. Chris Notsky. Here
Yes,
we
sir.
go. Two karate experts, two
Okay.
self-defense experts. They got the same skills, same expertise. One has been on 48 podcasts, done 12 local speaking gigs, spoke at 4 conferences like the one I met you at, and they write for 2 magazines about, their expertise. The other one was in the same class, got the same black belt, 3rd degree black belt or whatever, does none of the marketing at all. We don't know anything about them. When we Google them, we can't find them. Who do you think gets paid the most to share their message and to speak?
Well, clearly the first one.
Exactly. He surely doesn't. No, I'm joking. The first one on the page, but the first one I mentioned, yes, right?
Yeah.
The first one on the page probably doesn't make a lot. But this guy is easy to be found, right? So let me demonstrate this. Let me give you an example. Since I was picking on Chris, I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So I come into here and I say, who is Chris Notsky? You see right off the bat, he comes up. All of his black belt stuff, his web pages, we see him on podcasts. He has all of the things that says that he's current. He has all of the things to show off his expertise. Google AI already knows him because they don't look at his own page. They only look at third-party sites. So if you're not on podcast on third-party sites, you will never show up in AI. But when we look over here, there's no chrisnatsky.com. It's just LinkedIn and all these other things, eSpeakers, right? This one is a video from from a different thing, right? But you see, these are third-party sites that are referring to Chris and what he does. So it's really important that you get on other podcasts and start getting some visibility so that we could try him out. If he tells me he knows black belt stuff and karate, I should be able to click on it and see, right? I should be able to check him out. And if it doesn't appear that he knows anything, I'm gonna go buy a gun. I'm not gonna try to learn karate. Right? I'm gonna go do something else, right? So is that fair? What I just showed, guys, how it's really important to be able to be found. Because that's the first thing that the event planner does is they say, who is Gary Barnes? Who's Ron Story? Right? And they want to see proof before they embarrass themselves to bring in somebody that doesn't really know what they're talking about. Right? So the event planners are no different than us. They're going to pick the person to work with that has the most exposure. So I want to make some disclaimers because I want to make sure nobody's thinking that I'm trying to promise them the future or sell them something. I don't want the FTC coming after me. All of your results today will be determined by your topics and your opportunities, nothing to do with what I've done. But here's what I did this year. This year alone, I'm Ron Story. As you mentioned, I run SpeakerHUB, and our speakers, about 250 of them that use the system that I'm showing you now, are responsible for 7,000 meetings that have been documented on our website that we show publicly meetings with event planners. Now, whether they got the gig or not, we didn't we didn't teach them to sell. We weren't on the gig negotiating. But I can tell you one thing: you can't get a gig if you can't get the meeting with the event planner. Right? So we got to put the first things first and then let them be adults and handle that business from their perspective. But we did the hard part of getting them the meeting with the person who can put them on a stage. Right? And I learned this flywheel system that we're going to learn today from working as a booking agent myself. I worked with 300 agents before, 300 speakers before I owned SpeakerHUB, right? And all I did was look at who was getting booked the most and who wasn't getting booked. One of the people that Chris and I know in common is a guy named Arel Moody. Arel runs a company called Talkadot. He was one of my clients. So I knew how he was getting booked because I was booking him for some of his stuff. Right. So I knew what the people were doing that were getting booked all the time. And I knew what the people that weren't getting booked all the time. I'm going to show you that secret today. Right. So someone challenged me. They said, Ron, you run SpeakerHUB and you're telling us that we should be doing this flywheel thing you're talking about. Why should we listen to you if you're not a speaker? You know what? That's fair. I could argue with that, but that's kind of a fair shot. Right. So I put the flywheel in place myself for 12 months. And at the end of the first 12 months, I ended up on 125 podcasts. I ended up doing 31 speaking gigs in that 12 months. We did 219 consecutive days of webinars that are daily calls, and I wrote 139 articles. That was from October of last year to October of this year, right? I finished up the year with still only on 125 podcasts, but I did 38 speaking gigs. And I did 290 consecutive days of daily presentations. That alone, with no speaking fees up front, added $1 million of revenue to SpeakerHUB on top of what we were already making. And nobody gave me an upfront fee. When I came and spoke to you guys in Denver, Gary didn't pay for that. I invested in my own self because I was looking for certainty, not a guarantee. Right? A guarantee means someone else is responsible for paying you. Certainty is your responsibility. I was certain that if I got in front of that room, I would make an impact and I would make my fees back that I spent to fly 14 hours from Columbia, pay for my hotel, stay there for 3 days, hang out with everybody, buy a couple products from different people, things like that. That was that was on me. But that's what we did here, right? So again, we booked 7,000 meetings. I want to show you something though, because it would be different if this was just me. Here's Salvador. Salvador in his first 6 months did 60 podcasts. And he took a book to bestseller, #1 bestseller, using what we taught him, right? Melanie Gray booked 40 podcasts in 60 days, got her first booking in 12 hours of using our system, right? Jasmine Dennis, she is the former business manager for Lennox Lewis, the boxer, right? She ran 8 of his gyms, opened and ran 8 of his fitness centers in England, and then now she lives in Toronto and she's a fitness coach. When she first met us, she was doing nothing. Now she's doing 2 podcasts a week. She's got booked at several conferences and she writes for Forbes and Newsweek, all from just working the system, right? So the point I want to make is I want to teach you 3 secrets really quickly. Number 1, be proactive. The wait and hope era is over. So if you want to write something down, write down number 1, be proactive. Waiting and hoping for someone to book you, that era of speaking is dead. It does not exist anymore, right? It's what got most speakers doing less than 5 gigs. It's what's got them. And this is from total income from selling their coaching and everything else too. This isn't just from speaking fees, this $10,000 thing. This is from coaching and all their other products and services because they didn't have enough time or enough opportunities to even get good at presenting it. How many people were master salespeople their first time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's repetition is the mother of learning. You got to get on the stages, get rejected, go on a bunch of podcasts, get better. And then you sell once you like, well, what did I do? What did I do differently this time that I didn't do the other times? Right. So that's one of the biggest things that we learned is this is what waiting got people. So I'm going to show you something. Here it is. So we're going to teach the flywheel. Only two ways to get booked. Number one, you can wait to get discovered. Number two, you can proactively pitch. Let's play a game. I already showed the number. Shoot, I didn't want to show it. Right? So, but the basic flywheel has two sides, either inbound or outbound. You can wait or you can reach out. I want to talk about the inbound side. 39% said they're waiting for invites. 34% said they're waiting on voices, which means that just by doing outbound, you can beat 75% of your industry. Because they're not doing outbound, they're just waiting, right? Here's what we learned though. The proactive folks like Arel and Les Brown and some of the other people I work with, they flipped the model on their head. They said, nobody knows me. Let me proactively pitch first. And then if I reach out to enough people, I get a gig, then I can get referrals from that gig. And the more I do that, it'll be easier for people to find me online because when they Google me, they can see all the podcasts that Chris went on. They can see Google refer to Chris and what he's done. They saw all the proof of Chris on stage because he wasn't just waiting around, right? He had enough momentum going forward. So that's the difference. It's just flipping the model upside down. And here's how you do outbound. Here's one small promise. If you just reach out to 15 people a week, you will get booked someplace. I mean, like 15 minutes. Just send some emails. Is there anybody on here who believes that if you reached out to 15 people a week, everybody would tell you no? No, that's kind of ridiculous, right? That's freaking ridiculous. Sam, good to see you. You know, that's freaking ridiculous if you believe that, right? But what we do know is that just by doing that outreach, at worst, you'll be on a podcast. If you keep doing it, it will change how things work for you in a huge way. I mean, like in a incredible way, right? So any questions about secret number one, right? Because it's really about just taking proactive actions instead of waiting on people to book you. Anybody here that's proactively pitching currently? Outside of the folks I already know, right? So, all right, who's proactively pitching currently, right? Right, Doc and Jeff. Jeff, what's the process you're using currently?
And so what I'm pitching is I'm sending out notes to people to be on my show. So
Okay.
I'm sending out my VA is sending out about 20 messages a week on a couple different platforms to generate interest and include my calendar link in that message and say, if you want to talk to Jeff about being on the show, here's his calendar link, jump on, you can talk to him about it. So, and I have gotten probably 75% of my guests over the last 3 years of my TV show from that type of thing. So
Incredible.
It's been awesome.
So it works both ways. It works if you're
Yeah.
looking for guests or looking for speakers, but it also works if you're looking to be the guest or the speakers. Doc, what types of outbound are you doing?
I've looked at the connections that I've had already that I've been on and circled back because it's been a little bit of time since I've been on them to see if I can do a refresher or even talk on a new topic.
100%. Are you doing phone calls? You doing emails? What type of outbound?
Emails and phone calls.
Incredible. So I want to put Bonnie on the spot for a second because Bonnie was what we call a timid connector. And this time last year, she had been with us for a month and she would get on the call every day. And I would be like, Bonnie, did you send your emails? And Bonnie say, I'm working on it. And I'm like, Bonnie, what's going on? Like, you got to send these daggone emails. Like, they don't increase in value like Bitcoin. You got to send them, you know? and, you know, she was a buy and hold person. She bought SpeakerHUB and she just held it for like 2 months before she ever sent her first email. So, Bonnie, what was the difference before and after you started doing proactive pitching?
I ended up on now, let's see, as of Friday, 29 podcasts. And I have an Optimist organization on Wednesday to speak for. I have learned some of the wonderful things that you taught to me and everyone else. And although I was your slowest study, I know.
No,
I'm your slowest
no, I
study.
never said that. I didn't say
But
that.
I'm saying that. I am saying that and I'm owning it. Okay. I'm owning it. And I keep going. So now I'm in the writing world with Kamanzi and I'm pitching magazine articles, and he's training me to do that better and better all the time. I'm with you, good Lord knows, all the time about getting better in the speaking world. While we're sitting here right now, I was rewriting my survey. One of the things that Ron has shared with us that is incredibly game changing, the survey for educator resilience that I'm starting tomorrow with a principal. And because I'm working with educators, school districts and such on educator resilience and retention. I'm just starting to open that door. But the surveys have been incredibly helpful. So following that, and I've been on a bunch of podcasts and some associations, and I'm writing for the publication. So the whole wheel that he's got going on there, I'm doing all of those things. Slower than some people, but I'm doing them.
No, you're a lot faster than those who are doing nothing. So high five. One of the cool things is that Bonnie was very deliberate. That's the way I like to explain it. She wanted to make sure that she had everything ready, right? And I'm kind of the other side. You've heard of ready, aim, fire. I'm ready, fire, aim, right? I go ahead and I shoot the gun and I see where I miss, and then I just adjust to where it should have been. But most people, they get the gun and they're just doing this the whole time, and they never pull the trigger. They're just moving the gun around, trying to get it on the perfect shot. I'm going to shoot, move, shoot. Oh, let me get back to the right spot, right? And I had to learn as kind of the leader of this group that everybody doesn't think like me, right? So I have to be patient. We need other support people that can come in and help. Jasmine, the Lennox Lewis manager, threatened me a few times. You leave Bonnie alone. I was the same way, and it worked out. And I'm like, I am not about to fight both of these people. So I said, let me back off a little bit, because if you ever come to one of our calls, you'll see Jasmine is very aggressive. Like, she will tell you what she's thinking right away. And I love that about her. But our community defended when I was kind of pushing a little too hard. And I think it worked because we needed both sides, right? So
Absolutely.
secret
We got a
number
lot of
one.
laughs out
Go
of it
ahead.
too. I said we got a lot of laughs out of that too, which was
Oh
great.
yeah, it was great. I mean, hey, look, I'm not perfect. I'm just anxious. I want results, right? So here's the
Appreciate it.
recap. Secret number one: proactive actions. Just start doing something. Even 10 people a week will get you some momentum. Secret number two: we got to learn to turn small gigs into larger gigs and keep building momentum, right? The issue most of the time is most speakers, they want the home run all the time. I want to do a TED talk. Well, have you done any other talks? No, but if I can get a TED talk, it's like, dude, this is going to be hard, right? Well, a bureau should book me, and if you book me, I'll give you half of the money. Don't nobody know you, so I don't want to book you either. I would rather book a person that gets paid $50,000 and take 20% of that than 20% of $250. And that's how the bureaus feel, but nobody wants to tell the speakers that. Because the bureaus have switched their model where they charge you to be in their directory, even if they never book you now. So they just end up collecting directory fees, and they got $500,000. They get 500 speakers in their directory, right? So, and then they're usually trying to go viral. When they go on a podcast, they're trying to say the cool thing in order to get the clip that will go viral on Instagram or TikTok, and it never works. Because basically you're ignoring the people that are in your audience, right? So why is it that I do small gigs like this? Now, this is 23 people. How many of y'all would be happy if you went on a podcast with 23 people that only had 23 downloads, right?
Yes, yeah.
No, Jeff said, no, I would go on a podcast that only had 23 downloads. Why not, Jeff? We can see you. We can see you.
I know. No, I don't know. I mean, I've been on ones that have very low downloads, but if I'm going to search one out, I'm going to search one out that's got a little more exposure than that. I mean, if we're going to go on something, especially if you're paying for it, you want some exposure. I mean, when I charge for people to be on my show, but I can tell them that I get 40,000 people on their in a month on eyeballs on their show. So I so I can give them some numbers and I can give them who's watching and I can give them demographic information and stuff like that. If you don't have that, then I'm going to be, it's a little, I don't know. It's just, I'd rather speak on things that I know that information for that's got a bigger audience.
Okay, I think that's a valid point. I'm going to teach you two things because I think Jeff has a point, but I'm going to give two. There's a yin and yang to everything. There's no right or wrong. It's just a yin and yang, right? Because I've paid to be on larger podcasts myself, right?
Totally.
I love to go on the smaller ones. You know why? Because elephant hunters eat rabbits, right? Now, I grew up in East St. Louis. Only time an elephant came to St. Louis was with the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. They had a parade. They would run through downtown before the circus. But the rest of the year, especially times like this, guess what's hopping around in my backyard? Rabbits. Are rabbits bigger than elephants? No, they're small. Are they faster than elephants? You damn right. So if I can shoot a rabbit, imagine how much better prepared I'm going to be when the big elephant opportunity shows up. Because I've been living off of these small rabbits, getting more practice, getting smaller clients, learning how to sell my stuff. If I can't close a room of 23, I ain't gonna close the room of 2,300 because my skills didn't change. My message needs to be compelling, whether I'm talking to 23 people or talking to 2,300 people. Here's the one difference. Nobody, well, let me ask this because I'm gonna go back to Jeff. Jeff, if I told you I have 23 people that I want to refer you to.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to record an interview over Zoom and I'm going to send it to them individually. They won't be on there live, but I'm going to send the emails to those 23 people. Would you do that interview with me?
Sure. Who are the 24? Who are the 23 people?
They're qualified to buy your product and service.
Sweet. Bring it on.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
That's what
most of the time you don't see that though. Most of the time it's blind and it's random and it's
But let me show you.
I'm going to
tell you why it's not. I'm going to push you a little bit, right?
All
this
right.
is how I'm going to get you in a little headlock for a second. Right?
Bring it on.
How many people have ever been forced to listen to a podcast? Zero.
Forced?
Meaning that they grabbed their phone, looked through all the other options that they could listen to for that day, and they chose that episode with you on it. And then when they didn't feel like you were talking directly to them, they chose to log off and listen to somebody else. So nobody has forced those 40,000 people to listen to you. They elected to listen to you because they were interested. So those same 23, just like you guys who showed up tonight, you could have been watching the football game or basketball, college basketball or whatever, but you chose to be here. It wasn't forced. So it's my job to treat you as if you were live or whoever's watching this as if it's referrals. You all are a referral directly from Gary.
Yep.
When I come, I pay all the bills in my house. When I walk in the house, they don't introduce me as well as Gary did. They don't do nothing. They just be like, yeah, dad's on, whatever. They don't even care. Right? But you get on a podcast today, we have Cheryl Devon. Cheryl's an expert in writing books, doing this, making backflips, eating tacos, and she can do magic tricks. And Cheryl's like, damn, I didn't know I could do all of that. And then if she drops the ball, it's her fault. It's not the audience's fault. It's her job to keep them engaged. So here's the one tip I'll give you. Every time you're on a podcast or on a stage, treat it as if you're talking to referrals. Don't ignore the host. Don't worry about him. He can ask you whatever you ask. You need to talk like you're talking to a room full of referrals that want to buy your stuff. When one of my friends, he's a politician in St. Louis, and I said, dude, do you ever answer the question that people ask you? He said, they have the right to ask me what they want to ask, and I have that right to answer what I want to answer. And that's the same thing that we have to follow on podcasts. We have to understand that our job is to serve the audience. And how do you best serve the audience, Cheryl, with your services? How? What's the best way you serve them?
And the best way that I serve them is to give them a better understanding of what it is I do without being too salesy pitchy, because that's going to turn them off.
Well, I'll tell you this. The best thing you could ever do is to get them to buy your services where you implement the thing that you do.
Yeah.
And if you can do that without being the velvet jacket, corduroy sweater wearing guy that sells used cars and used chainsaws, then do it, right? But the best way is by helping them. And then, I don't know who that
Oh,
was. There's somebody
I don't
else
know, but
talking.
sounded like speaking in
You-
tongues there for a second. Tina, you want to mute?
But do you see what I mean? So the best thing we can do really is helping people. Remember, the question earlier was if Jeff got someone really excited about what he was building, would it be great for them to go buy it from somewhere else? That would be terrible. So you got to sell your stuff. Don't be ashamed. If you're ashamed of it, I ain't buying it. If you're not proud enough to tell me that I should get it and you believe in it, why should I buy from you? Because you're timid. I'm not looking for the best kept secret. I'm looking for the person that's saying, I'm delivering and here are my guarantees. Is that fair? So let me get back to it. I wanted to drive that home because that's one of the biggest things that holds people back. They don't know how to turn small gigs into bigger gigs. So you got to go on podcasts that feel like they don't pay. And I'll show you how to fix that. You got to write for different media articles. In order to get the articles that Bonnie's doing, she needs writing samples of her writing. Before they will pay her for Forbes and Fortune and Fast Company and Success, they're going to say, send me an example of something you've written. Turning little gigs into bigger gigs. How many first day black belts did you have, Chris?
None.
Exactly. You got to get your ass kicked a lot to get a black belt, right? I don't know why people don't believe that. They think with speaking, I can just skip, right? Association gigs, you go in and you need videotape. You got to go speak at the association so we have proof that you can speak. And then that's when you get the conferences and these are the rabbits. These are the elephants. Does that make sense? I'm an elephant hunter, but I got to eat these rabbits. I got to be up at 8:00 or 8:30 on a Monday night doing something that's effective. Why? Because I got to get better. This presentation I'm doing now, this is only the 5th time I've done it. So I got to get it dialed in. I got to do it another 75 times before I can just do it right off the bat. Does that make sense? I got to eat these rabbits, baby. I did this the other day for a room of 3 people. It was my kids, and I didn't care. You know? Right? So here's how the flywheel works. We basically want to use small gigs to get you bigger gigs. So when you're trying to get on larger podcasts, one of the great things you can do is include previous podcasts that you've been on so they can try you out to hear what you're talking about. One of the other things is that if you're known on a bunch of podcasts and you want to write for an industry specific magazine, send them clips of the podcast of you demonstrating your thought leadership. If you have points of view they've never heard before, they would love for you to write an article about that point of view. When you have the media outlets that you write for in that particular industry, send it to the association. Hey, here are 5 podcasts I've been on. Here are 2 articles I wrote for Newsweek. I would love to come talk at your insurance conference. You see how they build on top of each other, right? But the great thing about it is that if you have a product or service, you can get paid off of these too, right? The media outlets, they pay up to $4 a word for you to write for them. So if you can just write 1,000-word article a month and you made 10 grand, you write one every week, that's a $50,000 job just for writing one article a week. Right? Now, let me show you this. Here's what I wanted, one quick thing, because I know people are going to say podcasts don't pay. I totally heard it 1,000 times, right? But podcasts, they provide you with what we call pre-sold leads. So all of these people found me on a podcast. All of them. Every last one of them. Let's pick Gregory right there. Listen to you on Chantel's podcast. It was great teaching about how to use LinkedIn and reach potential clients. How do I engage your services? Where was he sold? I haven't talked to him. He was sold on the webinar podcast. Before he got to me, he's already ready to buy. Hey, here it is right here. Boom. I booked you Tuesday. I didn't even have to tell him what I did because he already heard me for 45 minutes. Makes sense. right? That's the difference. That is the biggest difference. Let's see. I think I got several people from Chantel's podcast, right? Let's click here, right? Rhonda Ross. Hey, I heard you're a weird creator for more with Chantel. Learned a lot. How does someone work with you? You notice I didn't have to sell her anything. I sent her the link and she booked the call. She was already pre-sold. Tracy Johnson wrote me a whole letter. Hey, I'm from St. Louis too. And I did this. And I'm like, okay, here's my link. Let's book a call. Right. Right. Do you see what I mean? So do I get paid directly for going on podcasts? No. But 2 meetings later, I got a deal because they're already pre-sold. I just got to not talk them out of it. Let me ask you a quick question, and then we'll open it up for questions for section number 2. How many of you all have ever woke up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to go on some sales calls about products I'm not interested in just so I could tell the salesperson no? Nobody. You were interested until they started talking. Right? So these folks, if someone books you or books a meeting for you to come on their podcast or to speak at their conference or speak at their association, if they end up saying, nah, we're going to go in a different direction, it was you, not me. It was you. It was you. They were interested. They didn't just wake up that morning. Let me just tell Cheryl no. I think I want to lower Scott's self-belief. I want to make Catherine feel a little bit lower today. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that, right? But we do miss some of the rabbits, is the point I'm making. But as you get better, it makes it a lot easier to shoot the rabbits, right? So we already went through this. I'm going to skip a little bit so we can go a little faster. We're at 45 minutes. So basically, the whole goal is to get you on the podcast so that you can get the repetitions of selling your stuff. Get you a speaking gig so that you can get the practice of watching people fall asleep at the beginning of your presentations. And you learn to put different things in there to keep them entertained, right? And then part 3 is learning to write. You are not a speaker. We have to quit referring to ourselves as modalities. I'm a podcast host. Okay, so you couldn't tell me your story outside of a microphone in front of you and a webcam? Oh, yeah, I could. So you're not a podcast host. Podcast is one medium that you use to get your message out. Well, I'm a speaker. I'm not a podcast host. I'm not a podcast guest. So you're telling me you wouldn't sit on a panel at a speaking gig? Yeah, I would. So you're a podcast guest. Get out of here. Well, I'm not a writer. So you didn't write an outline to put your speech together? We get caught up in these modalities as excuses for us not wanting to do the work. So I'm like, cool, just lose, right? I have no problem with you losing. So I want to go through this really quick. Speaking is the only profession that you can claim just by updating your LinkedIn. You can take a Toastmasters course, update your thing to say, hey, I took this course. I'm now a speaker, do 3 to 5 talks a year and expect executive level pay. Sounds crazy. But if I went to the University of Colorado, fresh out of school, I took a few business courses. I applied to work with Gary Barnes International. He hires me as an intern. I'm going to say, I ain't no damn intern. I'm an executive. You should pay me like a boss. You think Gary would go for that, or would he kick my behind out? Yeah, he would kick me out. But this is what we do to the speaking business. This is exactly what we do. We say, I'm a speaker. Okay, you're just not a professional speaker yet. But it's okay. I'm not a professional speaker. But it's okay to get better. Let me show you a great example of this. We got to kind of treat it like spring training. That's what this 48-12 thing is. How many of y'all got kids? Anybody on here got kids? Right? Anybody got little? Well, okay. Here's the question. How many of your kids played football, soccer, basketball, baseball growing up? Right? How many of them got paid in their first season playing t-ball? A lot of you guys paid for football and soccer for 12 years with no ROI, unless you're LeBron James's mama. Other than that, you paid for years and did not put the pressure on that little kid to get an ROI. I paid for that training. You're not making any money yet. I bought Gary's breakthrough course and I'm not making any money yet. Gary's like, you've been doing this for 2 weeks. Get out of here. You see the difference? It's the same thing. We wouldn't expect our kid to be a professional, but we expect us to be professional entrepreneurs. We can take it bigger than speaking. I tried Gary's thing. I didn't make 8 figures in my first month. That it's a scam. Really? I've tried cooking all my life and I'm not as good as Drew. Nobody should pay me to cook for them, even though I've been doing it my whole life. Les Brown told me something spectacular. I was in Denver at the NSA Influence Conference, and I sponsored his Lifetime Achievement Award dinner. So they let me spend some time with him. And he said, Ron, you have a great story. Why don't you tell it more? And I'm like, I talk to people about this all the time. And he says, Ron, you've been talking your whole life. You haven't been speaking your whole life. You got to get out here and get better, son. And I said, holy smokes, I can't argue with the Michael Jordan of speaking, right? Because I didn't want to be a speaker. I just wanted to be the amplifier. I wanted to be the person. Y'all remember you had the amplifier, the tape deck, and the CD changer? I was the amp. I wanted to amplify the voices of other speakers. But Les said, dude, you got to tell people more. You've been talking about this your whole life. You haven't been speaking your whole life. Go get better, and I guarantee you things will change. More people will resonate with you if you're leading from the front versus telling them what to do. Best advice, I should have sent them some money. I didn't have to, but I should have. Because that really meant a lot to me, because even he wasn't too big to get better. He used to do 5 speaking gigs a day at the beginning. 5 a day, driving around Florida. He had 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 1 at night, every day, 5 to 6 days a week. And he was just selling. He was not getting paid. He was a promotional person like the Sham Wow guy. But wait, there's more. That was what Les started off doing, right? So don't let these people tell you they don't speak to sell. That's how he got started. So we look at it, we got to treat ourselves the same way. Everybody on here has been a victim of this scam called kids athletics. They get you. Your kid ain't going pro. Just forget about it, right? But you're going to invest all the money because he needs the reps and the confidence. But he has the chance of going pro down the road. Let me close this up really quickly about the flywheel. This is what the event planners trust. They want proof that you can speak from the association gigs. That's the clips. They want proof that you can be trusted by the major publications. Forbes doesn't just let everybody write. Fast Company doesn't just let everybody write. And then they want proof that you're current from podcasts. If Jeff and other people aren't looking for you to come talk about your topic now, why should they? Make sense? Any questions about basically step 2, which is basically asking you this. If you appeared on 48 podcasts, did 12 small rooms, and you wrote 2 credible articles, do you think your speaking fees would go up? Do you think conferences would be more skeptical? Do you think you would get more clients? I've already told you about Jasmine. What she's doing. Bonnie can attest to this because she's on the calls with these guys. This kid, 19 years old, he did 50 podcasts in 3 months. He got his first paid speaking gig using SpeakerHUB last July. He was more excited than ever. Had to remind him he had to cash the damn check. He's like, I put the check on my wall. I'm like, did you cash it first? Like, you gotta go get the money first. He was so excited. He had never gotten the check before, right? And then there's Yvette, who's done a bunch of corporate stuff. So any questions about what we just talked about, right? Any questions about being proactive and using smaller gigs to get bigger gigs? Is this logical? Is it reasonable? All right. All right. So somebody got to ask a question because I got to take a drink. Got to drink my vodka over here. This is all vodka.
Not gonna go there. You were talking about being proactive, which I totally get. So, and reaching out to 15 people per week. Is there a best way to do that? Is it email? Is it, I don't know, LinkedIn, text? What is it?
But wait, there's more. I'm going to show you that next.
Okay.
It
Jumping ahead.
slices, it dices, it even sends emails, right? That's what you're going to see in a moment, okay?
Oh, okay, okay, sorry.
Is that fair? But that's a great question. That means that what I'm saying is resonating, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's called the buying signal for those who've ever been in sales before, right? So let me show you how to do this, right? So any questions about this? Basically, you need the flywheel, right? But before you do the outreach, you got to learn to give profitable free speeches, right? It's not that podcasts don't pay, as I showed before, is that you may not know how to get outside of the cycle. A lot of people are stuck in the honorarium trap. They don't have anything to offer, and they're confused, thinking that speaking is the product and not the business, right? Is there anybody on here that doesn't have a business outside of speaking, where all they do is keynote speaking? Is there anybody here? Perfect. You're the right audience. This is the first time I've ever had a group that says that they weren't just keynoters. So this is good, right? So 3 ways to get paid. You can get paid before, which is from your fee. You can get paid during the event, which is your products and services. You remember Cheryl gave her speech and she had a table outside at Gary's event, right? Mine, because I knew I was going to capture my leads at the from the stage, I didn't set up a table because I would follow up with people afterwards because I was going to get paid after. That was my strategy, right? So before, during, and after. Before is from a fee. During is from your products and services. I know some people were selling T-shirts, and people had different tables and different booths with physical products. And then there's afterwards clients. Some of you guys became my clients after that, right? So here's why free gigs and podcasts hurt you right now. If you don't have an offer or no way to capture the leads. How many of y'all have gone on a podcast and every time you go, you get leads from it,
Hmm.
right? Is there a reason why? What if I could show you a way today to capture leads every time you open your mouth? I don't believe in free speech. I believe in freedom of speech, but not free
Mhm.
speech. Two different things. I ain't speaking for free, right? Right. There are multiple ways to get paid. It's not, you can get paid through referrals, through experience, through videos. Most people tired of speaking for experience. You want to make some money. So you got to figure out how to get leads. Let me show you. I went on a podcast with this young lady named Pam Perry. And Pam is, she runs Speakers Magazine, right? And see, Pam Perry, run story, right? So you see this here has 102 views. I promise you, 50 of those views are me showing it to people because I show it every time I do a webinar, right? How many clients do you think we got from this one interview here? Anybody want to guess?
Hmm.
All right, so let's do this. Let's play a game. I will cash app whoever gets the closest. Put the number in the chat. Whoever gets the closest, I'll cash app you $25 to buy lunch tomorrow. As high as lunch is in the United States, look at that. See the numbers. That's all they need was a little incentive. Roland's like, give it to me, right? How many sales you think we got from that? Right. All right. Go ahead. 90 out of 100. I wish. I wish I was that good. You may want to change your bet. Right. It was only has 100 downloads. Right. Let's put that in perspective, guys. All right. So let me show you. All right. So let me look at the guest star. It's 25, 82, 44, 6, 28. All right. Let's see. Let's go, Pam. Right. Pam Perry, 19 customers from that. These are signups. This isn't how many people filled out the QR. This is 19 people clicked on the link in the bio there to give. I gave away the people, if they watched it, they got a free trial. Right? You see how that works? So Was it her job to send me customers, or was it my job to make it easy for those customers to take the next step? That's the big difference, right? So podcasts do pay very well, and that's what we call a profitable free speech. Gary, when I came and spoke in Denver, how much did you pay me to come speak? Who
Zero.
made more, the magician or me?
The magician.
The magician made way more than I did, and I actually got out there and helped the magician. So I worked two jobs. I worked for the magician and for myself, and I get paid for either one of them. And I'll never complain. Why? Because I learned that I needed to capture people from the audience. So I'm going to show you guys that right after this. So let's walk through it really quickly. The fee isn't the problem. We just got to show you how to get paid. If you're not offering live events, consulting, digital tools, physical products, or info products, it's going to be hard to monetize speaking. Bonnie uses our speaker QR thing, which what you all used earlier, right, in order to gather leads and then capture different things from different events that she was at. So let me show you how you do this, right? Because this makes going on the podcast and doing if every time you went on a podcast, you knew you were going to get referrals, or every time you spoke in front of a small group, you knew you were going to get meetings or referrals from it. You would do them every day, right? You would be begging to get more. So let me ask you this real quick. What's your current game plan, right? How many gigs did you do in 2025? Oh, I didn't tell you who won. 19. Well, who won that thing? I think 25 was the closest, right? Who changed their stuff to 19 afterwards? Howdy went in and put in 15 afterwards. That's still not, I don't think that wins. Did he put in 15? I guess it is Howdy. Howdy won. Howdy, put in, send me you have Cash App or something like that. Put it in your Cash App thing. Howdy got 15. It was 19. That was the answer. Cool. Venmo. Yep. Send it to me in a private chat. All right. Let me see if I can send you a message. Send it to me. Unless you can put it in there. If somebody else wants to send you more money, that's cool. Right. So what's the game plan? Anybody want to come up? I want to help you with a game plan. How many podcasts did you do in 2025? How many rooms were you in front of ideal buyers? And how many articles did you publish? And what's your system that's going to change it in 2026? Right? I know it. Catherine, she asked the question remember I told you I was going to get to it. Right, that's a lot of work to do. I believe I could do more and make more in 2026 if I became more visible, but that's Flywheel thing is great, but how do I find the damn names? Right? I don't know 15 people to reach out to. I get it. Why? Because it looks like this. You got to Google people. You got to visit the website. You got to reach out to them or whatever. Research the opportunity. You got to do all this stuff. I'm tired of even reading it, but it's all of these steps. Right? What I'm going to show you right now eliminates those steps. Right? It eliminates those steps 100%. And let's look at it. So let me bring it up and we're going to go to it. You're going to love this. So Catherine, since you asked, I'm going to let you be the volunteer. Is that fair?
Sure. I'm open.
So let's come over here. This is what we call SpeakerHUB Pro. And this is our outbound system at SpeakerHUB. We have the inbound system, which is your profile, but we have this outbound system where you can reach out to people. Right. So let's go ahead and set this up for Catherine. So this is my account. So I'm not selling.
I think I am in there. I think I have.
You're in here already? Let's see.
Maybe.
Let's go and look. Let's see. There's one way to find out. Nope.
No? Oh.
So you're on the other side. You have a profile, but not SpeakerHUB Pro.
Oh, that's probably.
Yeah,
okay.
they're two separate systems right now. So just roll with me for demonstration purposes, right?
Sure.
Right. And what's the name of your business, Catherine?
Next Chapter Business Support.
Like you got like the perfect business for podcast and speaking. Because people need to hear what you do. What city are you in? Or what state?
Colorado.
Colorado. And which city? Are you in Denver or somewhere else?
Colorado Springs.
Bam. And if you had to give yourself a title, speaker, coach, executive, executive assistant extraordinaire, roast beef maker, I don't know what you do. What would it be?
How about if we call, what if we say CRM tutor?
CRM tutor. That's good. Right. And if you had to sum up in one sentence what you do, you help who to do what?
I help small business owners to maximize their CRM usage.
Site teams.
And do you have your own framework or anything that you teach?
Yes.
Okay, what's it
No,
called?
I don't know.
No, if no,
I
that's
guess
okay.
not at the moment.
Okay, we'll get you one. No problem.
Okay.
All right. And what's your website?
Don't have one of those yet either.
Okay. You got LinkedIn?
Yes, I do have
Okay.
LinkedIn.
So let's go. Catherine Pearson, CRM.
I think I recently put GHL tutor, but
All right. Wizard behind the curtains. That's you?
yep.
All right. Let's put that in here. Now let's watch this. Boom. So when we ran the agency, we had to Google you. So I would have to come in and type in Catherine Pearson, try to see all the stuff that she's done, look for her LinkedIn. Now we use AI to do it. So in 2 seconds, boom, we just went ahead and put together this quick bio on Catherine. As a seasoned CRM tutor based in Colorado Springs, I specialize in empowering small business owners to unlock their full potential of their customer relationship management system. With years of hands-on experience, I guide clients through tailored strategies and practical solutions to optimize their CRM usage, helping them streamline operations, enhance customer engagement, and drive growth. Does that sound accurate?
Good. Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Bam. Bam. Right? So what's happening now in the background is that now that we know what she does, the system is already looking through the 3.5 million podcasts and the 300,000 speaking gigs we have, right? So when I click on podcast, I don't have to search through to find the right one she should go on.
Oh,
You see
wow.
that? It's automatically giving us the right ones. So let's say if she wanted to go beyond CXM, right? Where they talk about customer journeys, which is a big part of CRM usage, she could listen to it right here. Right? It's probably in German or something.
I was going to say, is that English?
Yeah, it's definitely in German because we got every
Uh.
podcast on earth, right? But let's say we wanted to go on this one, which is in English,
Oh, great.
right? But we can listen to it here.
Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience.
Right? And if it's one she wants to go on, all we do is click connect. It's going to look at what we know about Catherine, look at what we know about that podcast, and it writes unique, a personalized email introducing Catherine to her.
What?
Right? Wow. So what you're seeing here is, hey, I came across navigating the customer experience while searching online, and I wanted to reach out to see if you're currently looking for guests. Your focus on understanding customer psychology and enhancing the customer experience really resonates with me. As a CRM tutor based out of Colorado, I help small business owners maximize blah, 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 blah. It's 100% personalized. If Chris reached out to the same person, it would not use any of the same words other than while, I, and. Right? Does that make sense?
Impressive. Yeah.
So all you do is click send. Boom. Right? You can send it or schedule it. Basically, everything comes directly from your own personal email account. They don't know that SpeakerHUB exists.
Oh.
Right? So it doesn't say SpeakerHUB at the bottom. None of that. It's you and the direct podcast host or the event planner. Does that make it easier for you to do those 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. In 5 seconds.
15. Yeah.
That's exactly. That's the point. Yes, we won. Right? Right? So I can come over, I can come to another podcast, I can click connect if I think it's the right one, and it's going to go ahead and write the email for me. If I want to write a shorter one, I can change it. If I want to sound funny, I can even do that, and it will write the email for me. Just that quick.
Impressive.
Once you send the email, it pops up here in your mailbox, which is what you're seeing here. It's waiting because we didn't send it. Once it's sent, it moves over. Once they reply, it automatically comes over into in conversation. But guess what you got to do? Now that they said they wanted to meet with you, what's the biggest headache now? You got to go back and listen to that damn podcast, right? But we solved that for you too. we will go back and listen to the podcast and find 5 topics that we think would be great for you to cover for that podcast or that speaking gig.
Wow.
So you go in with notes already prepared instead of being unprepared. And I'm sure Jeff, as a host, understands that he's probably met with a bunch of people who haven't never listened to his thing and they don't even know what he even talks about. They're just underprepared. They're just spraying and praying, right? So this prepares you for the speaking gig. You mark it as booked, on hold, or whatever. Once it's booked, what do you need in order to turn that audience into clients? Because guess what we're doing? We're selling from stage. We're not closing from stage. Closing from stage is run to the back of the room and buy my thing. And every event planner will hate you for doing that. They will never invite you back unless that's the type of event that it is. But if you want to sell from stage, you tell them about the things that they should implement. And then you say, hey, if you want more help or if you want my download of these 5 things, use my what? My speaker QR that's automatically created right here. Right? That's the QR code that we create. You saw that earlier. Guess what happens? Those reviews come right back into our system. So from Gary's event back in September, I remember Gary saying there's 108 people here today on that Sunday when I spoke. Out of those 108, I got, 47 people to give me their information, and 42 said I can follow up with them. Does that make sense? This is how you turn free speeches into profitable speeches. You don't have to be the corduroy jacket, overselling thing. Show them how you can help, offer to help them more. Make sense? Any questions about what you just saw? Right.
I've got a question, Ron.
Oh, go ahead.
So, Bonnie, congratulations. You are not the slowest person. I've had this for over a year and I'm just now finally ready to use it. I'm going to own that.
Go, Cheryl.
Yeah, I'm finally. Well, yeah, I mean, I can give you every excuse under the sun, but the point is I'm ready. So I started setting up the profile, the inbound profile on SpeakerHUB. I didn't, totally confused. This is real, the blonde. Didn't understand that the outbound was SpeakerHUB Pro. Is there an easy way to get between the two?
100%. And you're going to love this, guys. So when I first purchased SpeakerHUB, it was a separate platform built in a whole different programming language. It's like getting someone that speaks Russian to talk to somebody that speaks English. If you don't know the languages, you can't merge them. So this system here was so old, we couldn't merge it together. So when you go to the SpeakerHUB webpage, we give you 2 logins for now. Does that make sense? So that's the difference. But this week, this is happening where the 2 logins go away and it just becomes 1. And it's no longer called SpeakerHUB Pro. It's just called SpeakerHUB because you can log into both of them at the same time, right? We rebuilt that entire directory and all you have to do is click the part that says speaker page. So you see up here at the top, when I click on speaker page, it's just going to go ahead and bring over everything, my profile and everything without a second login. So this should be live this week. I can almost promise you tomorrow at about 5 p.m., we're going to put up a sign that says we're under maintenance for 12 hours because it should go live on Wednesday, right? But this is the profile. You don't have to create anything new. We'll automatically merge everything. You'll have 1 login and you'll be able to do exactly what you need to do. And it's a lot easier and faster. So you can edit your profile so much faster without all that stuff that was blocking and making it stupid before. We've simplified everything to only the essentials, right? So we hear you. You just waited until it was perfected. I know, right? Now, let me tell you the key. I'm never ashamed to talk about these things because a lot of us are addicted to perfection. A lot of us, we don't want to get our stuff out there until it's right. We want to keep learning. We want to keep improving it. Well, the only way you can keep learning, how many people have the iPhone Ultimate? No? Nobody has the iPhone Ultimate? What iPhone do you have? Who has an iPhone?
15.
6.
That,
14.
yeah, yeah.
15.
That means there was somebody said 15 a couple times, right? That means there were 14 of them that weren't perfect. They released 14 imperfect products. Yeah, but we trying to put out Cheryl Devine Coaching Ultimate. It'll never need to be updated. Are you crazy? You better put that thing out there and then fix it and then keep updating and keep fixing it and keep updating and keep fixing it. Right? When we first started with this, before it was called SpeakerHUB in 2019, I needed customers to keep the business going. I didn't have any customers. I had been developing it for 2 years. Our first customers got lifetime access. Another guy named Kevin, who was at Gary Barnes's event, Kevin got lifetime access to all of our stuff for 97 freaking dollars. Now, it didn't really work, but it was version 1. Now, 7 years later, we've improved it so much that every 3 months we raise the price because we put more features in it. When you see what we're doing for this year, it's a game changer. Bonnie's already seen it, but we have this course thing we're introducing next month, and everybody who has it, you get it, right? So, but we're merging everything into one, so there won't be 2 different worlds, right? Great example, Gary. When you first signed up with us, you could only do Google and Microsoft. You remember that? And he was hot. I don't want to use this. I don't even use Google and Microsoft. I use my private email. And I'm like, Gary, we haven't built that yet. It hasn't been a large demand. The demand went up. And guess what happened 3 months later? We introduced where you could sign up with any email account. So as you keep improving your products, you should keep improving the price. As you get better, you don't charge the most when you're the worst and then get cheaper as you get better. That's kind of stupid. You raise the price as you improve, which is what we've done. Make sense? Doc, what's your question?
I saw one of your previous webinars that you did talk along this line, and you had said you had asked people if they were a speaker or was it a strategist or strategist. Yep. Is that going to be kind of the same thing of what this new the format does? Is it you go to one or the other?
Well, I mean, I think that it automatically does that. Most there's 2 paths of speaking. There's what we call a strategic speaker, and then there's a keynote speaker. A keynote speaker only looks to get the crowd excited, and they're really there to perform. A strategic speaker is speaking to solve a problem, and then they're going to make money off of the stage. Does that make sense? They're speaking as a strategy, not as a performer, right? So most keynote speakers, they don't want to do outbound pitching. They want the speaker fairies to sprinkle them gigs. It's the people like you guys that are strategic speakers that know if I get in front of a room, even if they don't pay me to speak, I can get $5,000 worth of training out of it. I can get $10,000 worth of clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So this new format that's being released will help support that.
100%. Everything that basically right now they're just separate, right? Over here, this is where most of the keynoters live. 67,000 keynoters are sitting over here starving. I'm just being real with you. They're not doing any outbound. They're struggling. We introduce outbound to them. They say, podcasts don't pay, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but nobody knows you, right? So we're not going to try to change their minds. We're just going to show them where the winners are. Well, they always say more is caught than taught. I can't teach somebody how to win. They have to watch and observe and then say, I want to be over there. Does that make sense, Doc?
Yeah.
You know, if you ever have kids and you want them to eat their food, you know how it is. Like you can tell them, threaten them, but they ain't going to listen. You got to let them watch and be hungry for a bit, right? So any other questions about this as I close this up really quickly? Any questions before I go forward? No? All right. So you see how much easier that is than the other option, right? Thanks, Catherine, for being an example. So basically, this is why 2025 hurt most speakers. They waited. They had no system and they didn't know how to make money. So what I'm going to introduce you today is how you can get access, lifetime access to our visibility plan. And it basically gives you access to be booked on 48 podcasts, 12 speaking gigs, and 2 articles, right? 1 podcast a week, 1 speaking gig a month, and writing for 2 publications, right? Now, this isn't for everybody. If the idea of investing $140 a month or $4,000 one time is a problem because you don't think you can make it back from your products and services, I understand. Everybody doesn't use this. This is perfectly fine. If you're not willing to do the work, it probably ain't the time for you, right? Because this requires you to proactively pitch, right? If you want to treat it like a lottery ticket and say, hey, this should be magic. I need to be rich next week. Don't sign up, guys, right? But if you are serious about using speaking and podcasting as a primary lead channel for your business, you can't find a better place, right? If you could give it 1 to 3 hours a week to just work on it, send out the pitches and go on the podcast, this is the best system out, right? So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get lifetime access to the program that I just showed you. It's going to give you access to podcasts, associations, and media outlets, along with a speaker page. And you'll never pay us any monthly fees once it's paid off, right? You're going to get 100 pitches a month. That's more than enough to do what we're telling you about here, right? This is what it looks like. You get all of our tools in one place, not all over the place. So we give you the leads, the built-in chat GPT, the QR code thing that you saw, the speaker page, and the CRM to manage all of it in one place, right? The second thing you're going to get is the Writing Credentials Lab. You heard Bonnie talking about writing for different things. I own a PR company. Anybody who has lifetime with us, they get lifetime to all of my stuff. At the end of the month, we should be closing. We already put out the LOI. We're buying a podcast hosting company. So you'll be able to host your podcast with us if you have lifetime with us, right? So Cheryl, that'll be, if you're already thinking about doing a podcast, you'll be able to get podcast hosting through us, through our other company that we're buying this month.
How easy is it to transfer from one platform to this one?
I have no clue. I won't know until I own it and I can tear it down. And look at it.
Buy
So
Buzzsprout and then I don't have to worry about it. You'll just
I don't have
integrate
that
it.
much money. I got to sprout some cash if I'm going to buy Buzzsprout. That's way too big, right? But that you'll be able to do that. But Writing Credentials Lab, that's what we were showing you over here with PR pitches. We give you access to that with Kamanzi. Show you how to turn those association gigs into leads. Going to speak at an association and just getting film is not good enough. You got to turn it into leads. You're going to be terrible your first few times, but you will get better, right? The first time is going to be clunky, learning how to put the QR code and how do I bring it up without sounding like an idiot. We got to walk you through that. We will role play that with you, right? And then we give you accountability and support. Our daily calls is kind of like going to the gym. You give us an hour a day, you're going to learn something. You may not implement it right away, but you'll have it in your toolkit and we'll give you real examples. We don't teach anything we haven't lived. So anybody that I ever bring on to talk, or if it's something that I'm talking to you about, it's because I've already implemented it myself, right? And this is what it looks like. In your first 90 days, Cheryl is on her 5th first 90 days, right? Because it's I think she bought December of 2024, right? But basically here it is. This is what it looks like. In the first 7 days, you hop on a call with me. I walk you through how to get your first few pitches out. All right. You get 5 calls with me, 5 half-hour calls. In the first 30 days, these are the expectations. You should have been on 3 podcasts, or at least booked 3. You should have your QR code set up for those podcasts so you know how you're going to gather leads from them. And you should be coming to the co-working sessions at least once a week to kind of see how other people are using it, or at least getting feedback before you go on your first podcast and use the tools. Within the first 90 days, you should have had at least 1 gig and recorded it. So now you got your speaker reel. In 90 days, you should be up and running, right? So we even added a few fast start bonuses. I did 45 interviews with top speakers like Les Brown, Kim Coles, Matt Pollard. We never put these out publicly after the events. We're going to give you access to all of those courses. Les Brown taught for 3 hours on how to be a better speaker. Same thing, he charges people $50,000 to come speak at. He did that seminar for us, right? You're going to get what we call the best of co-working. I got over 500 hours, 290 consecutive sessions, minimum of an hour each, over 500 hours of content. You get access to all of that in our community, right? So here's the last questions before we head out. Is it unreasonable to believe that if you went on 48 podcasts, you couldn't get one client to pay for this? Yeah. Is it unreasonable to think that if you spoke in front of 12 associations, you could get one client to pay for this? Even if they only paid you $500 a piece, save that $500 to pay this off. That's how you do this. Is it unreasonable to believe that if you wrote for associations at $1 a word, you can write 4 articles, pay for it. Now you got our system forever, right? So really quickly, this is basically what we're looking at. If you can do this, this justifies what we're charging. And then I got a workshop I put together called From Unknown to Undeniable, and it teaches you how to do profitable free speeches. I don't want to put Bonnie on the spot, but we've been doing these iterations every day since December 15th, helping people to build out their actual business. And it is a game changer when you can switch who's paying you. Right? When you can go from having the person on a limited budget paying you to having the business that they work for paying for them and all of their friends, it changes everything. We don't want our speakers selling B2C. It's too hard. The economy in the US is too hard right now. We need you selling B2B, where they have a profit motive of keeping the person engaged, like at Bonnie's, what Bonnie does. It costs a school 50% of the person's salary to recruit a new teacher.
Yep.
So if Bonnie can go in for 10 grand and help their people and save them 50 grand of what they would have to pay to recruit a new person, that's a win that they would take all the time.
Yep.
We show you how to build that type of offer, not just the consumer offer, right? So really quickly, here it is. It's really simple. I'm not going to beat a dead horse.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk this to death, right? I forgot. Bonnie's the equine specialist also, right? But normally it's $3,000 a year or $6,000 a year. You're going to get lifetime access for $4 grand. We had to raise the price out of respect to our current lifetime members. As we told you, in 2025, the holiday deal would be the last time it would be offered at $3,000. So out of integrity, we had to raise the price. But we do have financing available, $140 until it's paid off, right? Really simple. And you know what? Let's do something special. I'll make a deal with you. Let me see. Let's do this. I don't have it on here because I didn't think about doing this. Let's answer questions and then I'll tell you what the deal is. I'll give you a really good deal. Someone had their hand up and then they put it down. Ted Simmons. He got, is that Legos or Transformers? What's that on the back?
Oh yeah, Legos. Yeah, I got all sorts of Legos and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I saw the holiday deal and I was a bit confused on it. So I didn't go for it because the financing made it confusing, right?
Okay.
It was a hidden price. It was a lifetime, but it was hidden behind the financing, and the advertising was confusing. So I appreciate that you did it and you explained it better here. So just a note on that. The other question I had was, what was the coworker piece?
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to have that talking in the background. Go ahead. What were you saying now?
What was the co-working piece?
So speaker co-working is our daily call. We do this every single day. And for 2026, once we release the new thing, it will go to once a week to give people time to implement it. right? The daily call will be more just a daily webinar for people that are new to SpeakerHUB, but this will go to more of a cohort-based homework session inside of a community because we teach a lot, but it's every day. It's hard to keep implementing everything if you're getting something new every day. So Bonnie and a lot of other people said, just do it once a week. Let us implement that before you teach us the next thing, because it could be overkill. Does that make sense?
Drinking
Okay.
from a fire hose.
Yeah.
It's been referred to as drinking from a fire hose by somebody else on the calls, and it cracked me up. So that is so accurate. Ron has so much energy, so many ideas, so many things to show us. You kind of say, so yeah, taking a little time to really implement that work time is going to be super cool.
So I'm going to make a really cool deal, and I'll do this for tonight only, right? So because I know Ted was on the call, and I know Doc was on the other call earlier, and we met last week, and so we'll do this. I'm going to put a link in here to the old lifetime deal that was normally that expired over the holidays, right? So basically, the same plan that's $4,000, we'll give you $1,000 off. But you got to do it tonight. If you don't do it tonight, I'm just gonna. When you go back, it'll have the other thing. But I want to respect those who came on because it was pretty clunky. That was my first day doing the webinar, so I was bouncing through a bunch of crap during that call, right? And this price is actually the same price that Cheryl and Bonnie came in at a year ago. We had got rid of this plan and we brought it back only for Black Friday. So let me walk you through what how to do the financing so that there's no confusion on that. So let me go ahead and get to that page. So then I want to make sure that I've gotten better at this, right? So here we go. So when you come over here to the plan, there's going to be Affirm and Klarna. When you click on Affirm, it will give you up to 12 months, zero interest. All right? 12 months, zero interest. It's hard to beat that. We had to negotiate this privately because normally they only do 6 months. So we got them to give us a 12-month one. Or $104 a month for the same plan. If you don't do it tonight, it'll be $140 because it'll go up to $4,000. Right. So I want to make sure Ted and Doc and everybody else, everybody gets the benefit from my era last week. And I want to make sure that that's available. Right. If not.
Wow. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. No problem. If you don't do it when you go tomorrow, you're going to see this page where the price is $4,000. And it's the same thing. We just changed the price out of respect for the other offers. So I want to make sure that this isn't a joke. If he didn't say this, this wouldn't have happened. Okay. Right. Got it. So that's available. It's there. If you can't qualify for the Affirm, there's Klarna that's available also. Uh-oh, that's the wrong page. I don't want to show that. There is Klarna that's available also. And you can use that. So Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay, they're there too. So you can use whichever one works for you. Klarna gives you the best deal though. That's the only one that's zero interest. The other ones charge you interest based on your credit score. Got it? Any other questions for me, guys? I'm wide open to answering whatever questions you all may have for the day. This has been a great session. I enjoyed the time. I don't want to close out yet because I want to give away my free thing.
Ron, you said you're going to put the link in the chat for this?
Yep. Yeah, let me put that in the chat.
I was going to say, Ron, where do people go?
I'm going to give them the link right now. Right?
Thank you.
So let me share the screen. And here's the link here. So you see that both links are in the chat. There's the link to the website that explains everything. Or did I I sent that only to Howdy. Howdy was still in the messages, guys. Don't blame me. Blame Howdy. I sent it to him privately instead of everybody. All right.
Yeah, it's not in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I got it now. I just sent it. So there's the Stripe plan to go directly to the buy. And let me find the here is the sales page that has all of the stuff that you would get.
Still can't
All right. Can you see it?
do it.
Right. Everything's there. Perfect. So there it is. If you try to go to the page tomorrow, you're going to see this thing. So just keep that in mind. But let me give away the free thing. So let me close up really quick, and then we'll go back to some more questions. So as I mentioned, someone is going to win a $3,000 prize today. And basically what this is going to give you access to is it's going to give you, if you leave me a review, all right, not only will you get a free SpeakerHUB Pro page just for leaving the review. So instead of paying us $349 a year, you will get this page for free. This one right here. Let me show you.
Can you open that QR code a little bit bigger so we can do the review?
Yep, I'll bring that up.
Kind of covered up a bit where I couldn't scan it.
Yep, give me 1 second. So
Thank you.
basically, you're going to get the gold page here for 1 year. Even if you don't win, you still walk away with something, right? So that gives you our highest level of speaker page. You'll get that for 1 year just for doing the review. And here is the QR code. It should say Catherine at the top instead of Ron, because Catherine, her name is on my account right now.
It's cut off in the bottom and the top. The
Let's see.
little scanner codes, those little blocks are cut off.
All right, 1 second. I got a better way to do it. Let's go straight to the source. 1 moment. Let me just pull it up directly in the system. Let me change it back to my name instead of Catherine's name. Sorry about that, guys.
No. It wasn't that. It was basically that the QR code itself, the image, was cut off at the top and the bottom.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I just got to bring it up here.
Okay. Yeah.
Here you go. Is this better? Can you see it now? Is it working? So 2 people got it to work. I got 2 reviews, which is good, right? And you're gonna see and here's the link. If you can't do it with the QR, I just put a link in the chat.
And Ron, is this the same link as the one you put in the chat at the very beginning?
Yes, exactly. Same link. It should take you to the same Gary Barnes, January 2026 QR code, right? When you click there, it should bring it up. It's the same one from the beginning. You should go to a page that looks like this. I'm Ron, the CRM tutor. I'm still in that now. That's my new name. Right? So this is it. This is how you've watched the full demo of everything that I talked to you about today, right? You got to see me capture leads. You got to see me make an offer. You got to see me do a free webinar. These are all the things that we're helping our clients to do. Got it? So let me bring up the QR for those who didn't get it. There it is, just to make sure. You can click the link in the chat if you're on your phone. I really appreciate it. Any other questions for me while people are filling out their QR? I want to make sure everyone gets it in before we do our giveaway.
Yeah, what was the difference between the $349 gold thing and the $3,000 plan?
Yep. So the $349 gold plan is really just a profile. You don't get to do outbound. This is just inbound. It allows you to spice up your profile so that the event planners can find you. So if we look here on this page, you can see Ken has a plan, but Ken can only put up 1 photo, right? He can't put in any videos or anything, and we show his competition next to him because he's free, right? We want to give the people who are paying an advantage. If we look at Ebony January, Ebony has a gold plan. You see it says gold at the top? That's the one I'm giving you. Look at what Ebony can do. She has a banner at the top. She has all of her degrees, all of her speaking gigs, all of her videos. She's even selling her courses directly from the page. Right? And we don't show any of her competition on the left. So you get this page for 1 year without any without anything being blocked. It doesn't include the outbound because I want to protect that for those who are paying us. Right? Did I answer the question, Christian? Is that fair?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Are we
So,
ready? Let me see. Go ahead.
After we submit the review, it's taking me to a page that's selecting option, like looks like selecting paid options.
Oh, no.
Wait,
It's
did I
yeah,
go?
but just sign up. Oh, let me give you the instructions. Sign up for the free one, and then we'll go through your review and upgrade you manually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so select the free one when it says claim reward, select the free one and we'll manually upgrade you.
So another question on
Thank
that
you.
Yep.
is, let's see. So this is the one that I signed up for at Gary's conference as well?
Yep. It's the
Okay.
same thing. Yep. Yep. You just had it earlier.
Okay. Sweet.
Yep. So let's see. Yep. We got a bunch of reviews. Let me see where we are and then make sure everybody got a chance. This is when you speak now or forever hold your peace. Anybody that didn't get a chance to fill it out that wanted to, because we're going to select the winner. So, who is on here? Bonnie. All right, we're going to use Bonnie again as we'll use Gary. I think Bonnie's busy. Gary, I'm going to send you a private message with a number. So we have 16, 17 people in here. I'm going to send Gary a private message with a number.
15, because I already have it. So take me out. I just left your review anyway.
Okay, perfect. So, but we're going to I put a number in the chat, right? To Gary privately. Now, here's how you win. Just put a number, any number in the chat, whoever's the closest. It could be more or less. Whoever's the closest, more or less. We're counting the numbers. You will win 6 months of our highest level plan.
Is there a range?
Yeah, is there a range?
0 to 100. So you can start over if you let me start over. I'm gonna put a line in there. Anything after this line. See that? 0 to 100. See 77, 67, 88, 43, 64, 58, 27.
So if I guess the same number as somebody else, do I rewrite a number?
Nope. If you guess the same number as someone else, if you all happen to win, you got to win first. If you happen to win, then we'll let you two pick if you happen to guess the same thing as someone else. Right? So everybody got their number in. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. So we got all of our numbers in. And Gary, what was the number that I sent to you?
67.
67. All right. 67. I know if you got kids, you're so tired of hearing that damn number, right?
So there's two winners.
There's two winners. So I'm going to send you a second number. So we got Doc and Ted had the same thing. Now we got to break the tie because only one person wins. So I'm going to send you another number, Gary. And we're going to see. All right. I just sent Gary another number. So Doc and Ted, put your numbers in. One of you is going to win 6 months of SpeakerHUB. Did y'all put the numbers in already?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
76.
There it is. And he cheated. Somebody cheated. He must be able to see my screen. How do you guess the same number exactly twice?
Wow.
Totally cheated.
It pays to be on your previous calls.
Wait, I picked the same number before?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
jeez.
Yep. Took the same numbers before on another call.
I'm an idiot.
I didn't know you were going to pick the same numbers again.
I didn't realize I did it either. Okay, there it is. How crazy is that? I had no clue.
I took a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I do these like every week, so I try to just be random. Well, there's no such thing as randomness, I guess. So Doc Weathers, he wins 6 months of SpeakerHUB. If for any reason he already purchased, we would just upgrade him to the next level for free, right? So you have the choice. You either get 6 months of usage, or if you already purchased, we would upgrade you to the next level for free.
Okay.
So Cheryl, you wouldn't have lost. You would have just gotten upgraded. I didn't tell you to get out. You said, I don't want to do it. It's only 15. I'm like, okay.
I still gave you your review. So
Oh no, I appreciate it.
no.
Good time, guys. Doc, set up a time on my calendar. Here, I'll put it in the chat and we'll get you all set up and ready to go. But no, this is a great time. Super duper excited group. I love to help you guys. Feel free to come to Speaker Co-working. It's open to all speakers and entrepreneurs, whether you're a SpeakerHUB client or not. You're always welcome to come to Speaker Co-working.
Have you got that link too? Or
Yep, that's in the
Awesome.
chat too. So
Thank
I
you.
put both of those in the chat, and we're ready to help. It's every single day for now, and then we'll notify you when we will go to once a week. But April, nice meeting you. Christian, nice meeting you. Bonnie, good to see you. Judy, it's always good to talk with you. Howdy, sorry for sending you random messages that I thought I was sending to the group. Brian Evich, nice to meet you. Andrew, nice to see you. Scott Miller, Jeff Pearson, good to see you again. Cheryl, Michelle, Chris, Karate Chris, Gary, I don't know if you have anything else. This was good.
If you have a pod,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. If you
Go
have a
ahead.
podcast, we can work with you to get it on SpeakerHUB as well, correct? So that we can find guests?
Oh, we already put them in there. If you're in iTunes or Spotify or anything like that, we already are connected.
Perfect.
Yep. We
So
already got
I
you.
just want to thank everybody for coming and staying. Everybody stayed to really the end. So this is amazing. And Ron, it's 2 hours ahead. You really do pay and, do what you tell everyone else to do. And so I appreciate you as my friend and, cohort. And we'll see everybody on the next stage.
Yep. And just for good measure, let me make sure if you didn't have the link, I'm going to put the link, put those back down so that there's no question about what to do. Because I know after these people say, where's the link? I forgot to do it. Here it is here. Right. So that should be back down at the bottom. You got it?
Copy it.
You weren't able to copy it?
You can't copy it out of the chat. You can't
Were you
copy
able-
anything out of the chat.
Were you able to click it? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
no.
not copyable?
You should be able to
nothing's copyable.
Just click on it and it'll open up a browser for you.
Right.
I know I'm super old and everything, but I actually wrote it down.
It doesn't do that either. So
No, I mean like with a pen. I wrote it.
Another option, you can take
Oh,
a
the
picture.
pen doesn't work.
Let's take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, take a picture of it in the link, and in Apple, you can basically highlight the text and go to it.
All right. Let me see if I can make it a little bit easier also, where we can just spell it out. So if you want to write this down, lifetime, just in case, lifetime.speakerhub/BF26. Right. If that's all you need, that'll take you to the plan where you can select the first one, which is the one that's on the deal. You got it?
Ron, can you put that in the chat? That's really tiny on the screen.
Okay. Yep. BF like Black Friday 26. Let me put it back in here.
And if anybody misses anything, reach out to me. I can get to Ron, reach out to Ron directly.
Yep.
I mean, Ron and I talk often, so if you're only at least one little person away from Ron.
Yep. And in the next 30 minutes, you'll get, if you filled out the QR code, you'll get a response with the links. I'll send my follow-up emails to everybody directly after this, so you'll have the links and enough time if you want to get this done. It's we're gonna go midnight Pacific, because I know some people are not in the East Coast, and so I don't want to cheat you out of 2 hours because I'm a couple hours ahead.
So I want to challenge everybody to do something. Ron, how many people have done the QR code?
I think right here, Gary Barnes 2026, we have 14 people that were on the call did the QR code.
Okay, so we have anybody that's here that has not. I'm going to challenge you. The next time you put a QR code up for you at an event, you want people to do that for you, please do it for Ron. It makes all the difference in the world. It's really about paying it forward, because a lot of times we just think it doesn't matter. This really does matter. And, Ron's paying extra for us, and I just like to encourage everybody to do it.
No, I appreciate it. I really appreciate the time, and I look forward to the next one. Gary, you always have a great group of people, man.
Oh, it's ongoing, dude. As I say, I never close the door. You have to leave me. I will never leave you.
Well, we're gonna be together forever. All right,
Okay,
guys, I gotta go get some dinner. It's almost 10 p.m. here. Great seeing you all. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.